Hello, my friend. In this video, we're going to be going over what you should actually be testing when it comes to running your Facebook and Instagram ads to grow your Spotify, as well as some advanced methods that you can be applying to kind of take things to the next level. And if you want to take things even further beyond just running Facebook and Instagram ads to grow your Spotify, head over to the link in the description below. There's a free 7-step release checklist that I've been following for the last couple of years now. And it's what I've used every time I release new music, and it's what I've used to get over 6 million streams on Spotify so far. So definitely check it out. There's a free link in the description. It does go over ads as well in there, so it will help you even more. But with that said, let's jump into these advanced methods and some of these testing things that you can do. Jump right into this. So what do you actually test? So there's a couple of things here. One of the biggest things you can be testing is the target audiences. So you can introduce an ad set that has a group of bigger artists that are way too big like for you. Maybe they're like not as relevant essentially, so they're very large but they're not as relevant. An example could be, say, if you're doing indie rock and you introduce just rock, so you're just going a bit broader, indie rock artists versus broader rock artists. You can do the same thing but groups of smaller artists. So maybe they're a little bit too niche, but you want to have a bunch of smaller artists and test that out against your champion ad set. You could also do completely different genres. Maybe stuff that's at first you were thinking wouldn't be relevant, but maybe they might like it. That could be a test right there. You can also do non-music interests, so things that you think they might be interested in. It could be clothing, it could be fast food restaurants, anything. You can try all sorts of different stuff, and you never know what could work and not work. And then also different countries is a big one, because different countries is actually one of the most effective ways that you can really drop your cost per conversion. But again, when you're doing this, you're going to want to do it in a measured result where you have the champion versus the challenger, and you want to measure and make sure that that challenger with those different countries is turning into real streams in the Spotify for Artists dashboard. You want to be very, very meticulous with that particular test. And then you can introduce those lookalike audiences, like I mentioned earlier, as well as custom audiences, those retargeting audiences as well, as really great tests there. You can also move over to the creative side of things. So this could be different video ad styles. So we kind of mentioned this one a little bit, but you could have those different formats using album art. So maybe you might want to have different animations or different little like glitchy or grainy effects over top, stuff like that you might want to try to introduce as a test. You also might want to try maybe performance ads against those album art style video ads. You also might want to do talking head style ones. So like you on camera going like, yo, what up? I released a new song. You could always try that as well. Oops. Oh no, I pressed the wrong button. Now I gotta press this a bunch of times. But yeah, you can always try those things. I usually like sticking with the artwork ones because they're just so much easier to make. So that's something I always preference. But like, you can always try these things, especially if you like doing them. Like, you can throw them up as tests in your ads and see how they go, basically. And then one of the biggest ones is different songs. So we already kind of have it as like a best practice to have different parts of the songs as tests, but you can also do different songs entirely. Particularly with playlist campaigns, that's something you can do. And also, if you're releasing, if you're doing kind of like what I recommend, which is to release a new song every single month, you're automatically doing this by nature from month to month. So that's a really nice way to do it. So then I want to go into a couple more advanced methods. We're kind of getting to the end of this. I think, yeah, we'll see how quickly I can get through it. But one of the things that I found to be really useful is to move your new releases into one of those ongoing playlist campaigns. So what do I mean by this? So let's say the very first campaign that you get set up is a playlist campaign. It's recommended. It's the best thing you can do to make sure things are working correctly. And let's say you're seeing like 50 cents per conversion. So it could be worse, it could be better. You know, it is what it is. But at least it's working and it's running. Then say the next thing you do is you move on to one of those new release campaigns. You set that bad boy up. It's a separate campaign. And on the first one that you do, you see about 50 cents per conversion. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. Then say the next month you release the next song and you tried some new tests and you're actually seeing 75 cents per conversion. So okay, maybe it was the song, maybe it was the new test that you did. You have an idea of what worked and didn't work after all the campaigns you've been running. So you have a pretty good idea of what you want to test on the next release. And on the next release, you're seeing 20 cents per conversion on that new release campaign. So what you can do is you could run that new release campaign for 2 or 3 weeks, turn it off, and away you go and move on to the next one. But something that you might want to try, and I've done this with one of the best playlists that I'm using right now was done like this. You can take that new release campaign and then turn that into a new playlist campaign. So you basically can use those new release campaigns as tests that you're running month in and month out and then take whichever one's the best. And if it's getting much better results than your current ongoing playlist campaign, swap it out and set this one up as your new playlist campaign. If you do something like this, you're going to either want to update your old playlist, so that will look like making sure that that new song is the first song in that playlist, and if the artwork was the artwork from before, you're going to want to change that over so it reflects the new song, because you always want to be reflecting the call ends in 10 minutes. Okay, we might have to do 2 calls here. Didn't know that was a thing. But you want to make sure you're always reflecting the fan journey, or you can create a completely new playlist for this one. So you have 2 options there. Just make sure that you're trying to make sure that the journey is as solid as possible. Then another thing is to make sure that the ad is as close to what was working originally as possible. So over there on number 4, that new release campaign, if you make any huge changes to the artwork or the song or the music link, how that was looking, any of that can completely disrupt how well that ad was running. So you want to make sure that it's as similar to that one as possible. Usually the best thing to do here is to update that playlist so that playlist has your song in the first position, and then the artwork is reflecting that song as well. Moving into more advanced methods. So this one is super annoying, but this was super helpful for me getting my ads to where they were. And this is daily tracking and notes. So the idea is every single day you're going into the Facebook Ads Manager and you're punching in how much you were spending, the cost per view, content, all that kind of stuff, and going over to the Spotify Artist Dashboard and putting in any changes to your follower counts and the amount of streams that you were getting and all that kind of stuff. And then doing that on a daily basis. And then whenever you make any significant change in the notes section, you write in that change. That way you can systematically look back on this and see, okay, like they go way worse on the 12th of the month. What happened? Oh, I made duplicated best ad set into LPV campaign, whatever the heck that might have meant. But at least you can dig into it and figure out what's making the positive and negative changes really, really tactfully. There's a bunch of these tracker templates on the link here. I'll make sure to send out the PDF as well for that. So that you don't have to create your own templates or anything like that. I think there's videos that explain how to do it. It is tedious. It is a pain in the butt, but it's super effective. And then even when I had a couple songs go, like they hit 2 million streams or whatever, and they were in editorial playlists for those ones, I did tracker templates for those for like 3 months or something, just to make sure I knew as much as possible. So like I was kind of mentioning earlier about time management, if you can kind of get obsessive about this and really dive into it, it can pay off, because you're just really getting into the nitty gritty with this stuff. Very tedious, a little bit more advanced, but can make huge payoffs. Another thing here, and this one's really cool, is you can go to facebook.com/ads/library. You can go over to the search ads section. Make sure you select all and then all ads, and you can type in any advertiser on Facebook. So artists or brands, anything you want, and you can actually directly see over here, if you look on the right, what ads they're running right now. So what's useful for this is a couple things. One is you can get inspiration from artists that you like or artists that you think are really killing it with Facebook ads. You can just see what they're running. You can check out the fan journey by clicking on the button there and seeing where it leads, all that stuff. Another important thing, and I'd recommend doing this against anyone that you're learning from on Facebook ads, including me, is if, say, like you see a YouTube video and I'm like, yo, I'm running ads like this, this, and this. And you're like, oh, wow, that's awesome. Like, that's really great. Like, he's killing it with that ad. You can go over to the Facebook ads library and see if I'm still running that ad. Because generally what's happening is advertisers will keep ads running that are working. So if you go to see what ads I'm running right now, and I just said this is killing it, and I'm not running that ad, that means something fishy. Like maybe it could be an outright lie, or maybe just something's changed. It's just something that you might want to have quick pause over. You know what I mean? Because that's really important, especially if it's a long, like any ad that you see, they've been running for a really long time. They've been running that ad for a long time because it's working. So that's something I would definitely recommend checking into. It can be super useful. Hello again, my friend. Hopefully now you have a better idea of what you should be testing when it comes to your Facebook and Instagram ads, as well as some advanced methods that you can be applying to make sure that you're getting the best results possible. If you want to go beyond Facebook ads, there will be a link in the description to the 7-step release checklist that I follow every single time that I'm releasing music on Spotify. It's what I've been using for the last couple of years now, and it's what I've used to get over 6 million streams on Spotify. So if you want to go beyond ads, it does actually include ads as well in there. But if you want to go beyond it and you want to know everything from start to finish, definitely check that out. Link in the description. It's completely free. But with that said, hopefully you found this video useful. If you did, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video, my friend. Have a good one.